love. Brandon, you loved Kyler Murray getting it done on the ground and through the air.
Yeah, 5 games this year with a passing TD and a rushing TD. The most of any player through 6 games in NFL history. Seattle, take note, this guy is dangerous. I know you already know Pete Carroll's going to have his team right, but please listen to me on this. Load the box, put 8 men in the box, double D-Hop, okay, and put Griff on the number 2 receiver, and you will be fine. I just need the Seattle Seahawks to take note because this guy is dangerous. You got to fly all the way to AZ to get the win.
Ooh, all right. Sticking with the Cards, a perfect strike.
Okay, Budda Baker scored a touchdown here, and they're like, let's do a bowling play. And you know how much I hate mimes, Jenna.
Ooh.
I also hate...
That was good, though. That was really good.
No, this is not how bowling pins are lined up. Thanks to someone on my Twitter feed, Alistair, I believe your name was. This is the reverse. He needs to go on the other side. The 10 pins are not first. The head pin is first. So if you're going to do it right. This is, honestly, Nick, and I'm not lying, I do not believe in the Cardinals as a team when they can't execute something like this. Or like, let's do a bowling pin. We're 5 in the front, 1 in the back.
10 guys did execute it. Budda just messed it up.
They did it wrong.
The other guys got it right.
They did it wrong. It's totally backwards.
No, the guys were wrong. They needed to turn around, Nick. They needed to turn. That's great. I love it. That's great, Wilds. Speaking of terrible play, Nick, Josh Allen last night.
Oh, that's not fair, Jenna. Listen, I know the Chiefs are going to get the highlights today, so I just wanted to show people, you know, MVP candidate Josh Allen. So look at some of these throws. That pass right there, if it wasn't batted down, had a great chance of bouncing near somebody's feet. Look at this. That's the longest of any ball traveled in the air yesterday. Now it was 5 yards longer than it should have been. Look at this one. Game on the line. Amazing pass, one-handed catch. Now, it was a Chief, but still. Listen, Josh Allen, who I've been told is on the MVP list, we got to give him credit. He had almost 70 yards passing through three quarters. You can't get that just anywhere. So, and he did it in the rain, too. So, Brandon's guy, Brandon's team, Josh Allen, remember the yesterday during this segment. Oh, hey, America, let me remind you of my predictions. Let me show you all these things I got right. Yes, hey, Brandon's watching this game on a plane, hoping the plane is diverted, so he doesn't have to be here this morning and deal with this. Josh Allen.
What's that black thing on his right arm? Something has to be going on with this kid.
Oh,
or is his left arm, his left shoulder. His left shoulder, you see it?
Maybe you should throw with his left shoulder. Maybe you should try that.
All right, let's talk some basketball. One of the bright spots to come out of the bubble, clearly the Portland Trail Blazers. One of the bright spots on the Blazers, besides Dame, was Carmelo Anthony. Makes a nice return, plays really well deep into the playoffs. He quieted all the naysayers, and whether he ends up back with the Blazers, that's great. Whether, I don't know, Chris Paul comes to the Knicks and he follows him to the Knicks, and all of a sudden we get Melo back on the Knicks. Look at that guy. As the resident fitness guru, besides Brandon Marshall on this show, just take a look at what Carmelo Anthony's been up to lately. Yeah, big shots. Look at Carmelo at age 36. Brandon, am I right? For this guy in the offseason to look like that, dude, you could play anywhere you want in the NBA. You've got, he's 36.
He has a 2-pack.
I mean, did you look that good 15 years ago, Jenna?
When I'm 36, I'm good.
I got there first.
Just like him, Nick.
I got there first.
No, you didn't.
I got there first.
You did get there first. You're so annoying.
Yeah.
I can't. I worded the whole thing to get there, and you got there first.
I got there first.
Let's talk some Tampa Bay Bucs. Our friends at Fox Bet have updated their Super Bowl ads. That'll happen when you get mollywopped, as Nick would say. When you mollywop the behemoths known as the Green Bay Packers, Tampa went from plus 1,800 to plus 1,200 to win the Super Bowl. I could see it now. Tom Brady playing the Super Bowl in his home stadium. Nick enjoying every last minute of Kevin's joy. Brandon, let's start with you, though. We're heading into Week 7. Are the Tampa Bay Buccaneers officially Super Bowl contenders?
What do you mean officially, Jenna? Of course, when Tom Brady was on that airplane down to Tampa to meet with Bruce and the ownership, that's when they became contenders, 100%. I was trying to save this, all right, for later on in the season. I said it a little bit yesterday. I hinted at it. This team is reminiscent of the 2015 Denver Broncos when Peyton Manning went to the Denver Broncos and led them to Super Bowl 50 championship, to a Super Bowl 50 championship. Look at those numbers, and there's no graph here, all right? But they were averaging 18 points per game. The Tampa Bay Bucs averaging 20. Why not? They're averaging 282 yards. Peyton Manning was averaging 283 yards a game.
Yep.
Those are defensive. No. That's offense. That's offense. Tom Brady has a 96% completion percentage. Peyton Manning had 67. What? And now you add Todd Bowles in the mix with that stellar defense, you absolutely have a chance to win the Super Bowl. No offseason, no preseason. It was for everyone. So it's going to take time in a new system. Tom Brady's been in the same system for 20 years. So now he's hitting mid-season form. The thing that was holding them back was them being undisciplined. 3rd and 12, 3rd and 15. Why? Because they was the most penalized team in the NFL for the past 2 years. Tom Brady comes in and says, look, no, we don't do that here. There's a new sheriff in town. This is how we're going to practice. This is how we're going to play. And what happens? Last week, they had 0 penalties. That's why this team is a contender.
Okay, so a few things. Sorry I jumped in. The points per game that you mentioned was defensive. Then you mentioned the Brady and Manning's passing yards. And then you're right, Brady's got a 96 passer rating, as you mentioned. Peyton Manning's was a 67 rating. I don't have it in front of me. I think he had 9 touchdowns, 17 picks. Manning was miserable in 2015. It's why they tried to go to Osweiler even after Manning was healthy. Brady is not as bad as Manning was that year. But this defense is not the 2015 Broncos. And I am going to demand.
Not as bad?
No, Brady is not as bad as Manning in 2015 was bad. They won the Super Bowl despite
But you're making it seem like Brady is bad right now.
No. Tom Brady's fine. That's what I'm saying. He's not as bad as Peyton was. He's fine. He's right now he's a middling NFL quarterback, which at 43 years old is way better than he should be. But if we are going, my answer is no. Did the win over the Packers finally convince Nick the Bucs Super Bowl contenders? No. Because I think they have a good to very good defense, but not a historically great defense like you had in Denver that year. And I think Brady is going to be middling throughout the season, and much like Peyton, his last couple years in Denver, is going to actually get worse as the season goes on and as there's more wear and tear on his body. If the Bucs are Super Bowl contenders, then so are the Bears. Both teams have a Super Bowl MVP starting quarterback. If we want to be, what do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? Hey, great defense.
I said it yesterday. This is all about Tom Brady. Come on, man. Your hatred for Tom Brady is ruining probably your relationships with other guys you know in the organization in that locker room. Come on, man. No. So basically, you just said that this defense isn't good. They just made Aaron Rodgers look bad.
Brandon, hold on. That is not what I said. I said it is very good. I said the defense is very good. I don't think it's as good as the 2015 Broncos. I said that is exactly what I said. But I'm just curious. What is the discernible difference to you between the Bucs as contenders and the Bears as contenders? Tell me. What's the difference?
Well, number one, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers had the #2 defense in the NFL. And then the other thing, the second thing is Tom Brady. That's why. Situational football.
Well,
who do you trust more when the game is on the line, 2-minute drill? Tom Brady or Nick Foles? Do you trust Tom Brady or Nick Foles to operate the offense in red zone, 3rd down efficiency, understand what's going on? Is it 3? Is it 3 disguise? Is it cover 4? Is it cover 1? I absolutely trust Tom Brady more than I trust Nick Foles. And I can't believe I'm even having this discussion and comparing these two. Tom Brady can still get it done. I had 18 quarterbacks. I'll tell you if this guy is falling off the cliff. When I see him, like Peyton Manning in his last years, throwing 5-yard hitches with this wobbly pass, then I'll tell you he's done. Until then, he's a contender in my book.
Wilds?
But Brandon, I like Tom Brady. I have multiple Tom Brady tattoos up and down my spine. Starts at the top, goes all the way down and across, like the wings on my lats.
Me too.
But Nick Foles is 2-0 against Tom Brady. And the last time they matched up, Tom Brady's out there throwing the LeBron championship flag up and thinking that he's got 5 downs.
That's right.
So the argument
That's
between Nick Foles and you're putting me in a bad spot here, but I just have to be realistic. Like we just saw
But it wasn't
situational
about,
football. And the guy blew it.
Listen, what we saw Thursday Night Football Wilds was Tom Brady cursing out Jensen, probably the best center in football. Why? Because of these boneheaded mistakes, putting them in 3rd and longs in positions that is impossible to overcome. And what did they do the following week? Everybody was killed. Everybody was crushing Tom Brady. Is this Jenna? You asked the question. Hey, do you want this out of your quarterback? Do people respond to this? Yes, they do, obviously. Most penalized team in the National Football League 1 week. The next week, 0. That's why they lost that game on Thursday Night Football. You're asking Tom Brady to overcome 3rd and 15?
Hold on. Brandon, so you think it's fixed? The Bucs penalty issues? It's not going to rear its head again.
Well, what they did is almost impossible. They may not ever have another game not being penalized, but they're not going to be the worst in the NFL. They're not going to be seeing 5, 6, 3rd and 16s for the rest of the year. They're not going to see that.
Bruce
Yes, I do think that there is a point of emphasis internally to make sure we play clean games. I 100% believe that. Because you got to think about what is standing in our way. What is standing in our way? And for them, it is health issues at the receiver position. Let's not forget that. And then also, just don't beat ourselves. If they do those things, obviously you see what they can do. Come on, man. Look what they made the Green Bay Packers look like. Are we just going to forget this game? Are we going to forget this?
No, we're not. No, but hold on a second. But we cannot have the entirety of our analysis be based on the order of operations. Because if 10 days ago or 12 days ago, on last Thursday, the Bucs had dismantled the Packers, and then 2 days ago, they had lost to the Bears, then the analysis we flipped on its head. Instead, I'm trying to keep a steady hand with this. Before the year, I thought the Bears would be a double-digit win team that has a 0% chance of winning the Super Bowl. Before the year, I thought the Bucs would be a 9 to 10 win team that is not going to win the Super Bowl. I feel the same about both of them. And I think if you're going to use the 2015 Broncos as the look, a team can win a Super Bowl despite being limited at quarterback.
We're not talking about the Bears.
Then you have
We're not talking about the Bears. We're talking about the Bucs. Jenna asked a question about the Bucs, not the Bears.
By that standard, by that standard, the Bears have to be included. And nobody's including them. So you're right. It is about Brady.
Jenna, can we do a segment tomorrow where we talk about the Bears, since Nick wants to make sure everybody know that he chose the Bears to go to the playoffs, the terrible
that's not
Bears.
What it is. It's just,
they could easily...
We will do that segment right after we do the segment about Kevin Wildes and those ridiculous tattoos up and down his spine, which is just a very painful place to get tattoos. I should know. I got Brady tattoos up and down my spine. Hey, does this Chiefs offense still run through Patrick Mahomes? Monday Night Football. Next.
Nick, I'm almost positive.